Let's begin with 10:08, when our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we trust the wisdom in each of us, every color, every creed and kind, and we see our faces in each other's eyes, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we tell our story from deep inside, and we listen with a loving mind, and we hear our voices in each other's words, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we share the silence of sacred space, and the God of our hearts still within, and we prove each other's faith, well then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place.
Good morning, and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Spokane, where our mission is to join together to create a nourishing, liberal religious home and to champion justice, diversity, and environmental stewardship in our wider world, or as we say in short, to create community, find meaning, and live justly. Work for justice, live justly, both work. So we're glad to have you with us. UUCS is a very welcoming congregation, and we appreciate your unique experiences, background, beliefs, and lifestyles. And if you're one of our long-term members, or have been here a short time, or if you're with us for our very first time today, we are so glad that you have joined us. We're also welcome and appreciate all of those that are streaming with us today. We're glad you're with us as well. It is my pleasure to welcome this morning as guest speakers a team from Books to Prisoners Spokane, and I will share more information on them a little bit later in the service. A couple of announcements. I would like to remind everybody about the Cosmic Advent service, which is taking place here next Tuesday evening from 4:30 to 6 p.m. So please join us if you're willing and able for this candlelight service, which includes traditional hymns, readings from a variety of religions, and short homilies to help us celebrate the miracle of every birth and the birth of the universe itself. And I also wanted to make sure that everybody is fully aware that the church office is closed starting on Monday the 24th through January 3rd. So the office will not be open at all. Now, if you would please take a moment to greet each other, and then we'll begin later. Okay? Thank you. We'll have more time to greet one another and share stories during social hour after the service, which includes coffees and cookies. And so we now turn from our informal greeting of one another to formally begin our service by the lighting of our chalice, the symbol of Unitarian Universalism, the symbol of our unity and solidarity, of our openness and inclusion, of our community and individual uniquenesses. May this small flame be our offering of warmth to those who are cold and alone, and a light to those in darkness. May it be a flame that ignites justice in our world and a beacon of hope to those in need. And may it reflect at least a spark of truth wherever truth has been lost, and cast a healthy shadow of doubt where it's been found. As we just experienced the winter solstice yesterday, I wanted to share these words. The winter solstice is a profound moment of transition, marking the longest night and the turning point toward longer days. Across the ages, this celestial event has inspired reflection and reverence, reminding us of the deep interconnectedness between humanity and the rhythms of nature. As the sun reaches its lowest point in the sky, it invites us to pause and honor the stillness of this moment. The darkness is not a void, but a space of gestation, where seeds lie dormant beneath the frozen earth, awaiting the warmth of renewal. It is a time to reflect on the cycles of life, death, and rebirth that govern existence, and a reminder that even the darkest nights give way to light. In this pause, there is an opportunity to let go of what no longer serves and to envision what might grow in the seasons to come. The solstice teaches patience, resilience, and the importance of embracing the ebb and flow of life's energies. Gathering around the fire or within the warmth of community, we celebrate the quiet promise of the returning light. The winter solstice calls us to attune ourselves to nature's wisdom, to find balance within, and to trust in the enduring power of renewal.
All right, let's rise and turn to 148 for Let Freedom Span both east and west.
Let freedom span both east and west, and love both south and north, in universal fellowship throughout the whole wide earth. In beauty, wonder, every ocean be the golden cord, close binding humankind. Beyond all barriers of race, let us make friendship, human worth, our common faith and deed. Then east and west will meet and share, and south shall build with north. One human commonwealth of good throughout the whole wide earth. We will now kindle our candles of care, and each time we gather as a congregation, there are always those who are with us in our minds and hearts and who we want to wrap in our love and care. We kindle candles of care for those experiencing war in Ukraine and the Middle East, for those in London who experienced this tragedy last evening. Let us share a moment in silence, embracing others who are here and here in our hearts and minds this morning. You're welcome to say their names aloud as you're willing and able. Those named aloud and those embraced in our silence, and all those who are suffering elsewhere in our world at this hour, we hold in our community of compassion. We now gratefully give and receive this morning's offering, which sustains this community and its mission to the larger world.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we see, no, I won't be afraid. Oh, I won't be afraid, just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. If the sky that we look upon should tumble and fall, and the mountains should crumble to the sea, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand now. Stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me. Whenever you're in trouble, won't you stand by me? Whoa, stand by me. Won't you stand now? Stand by me. Stand by me.
Thank you so much. I would love to invite any children up for our story for all ages. Come on down. Today's story is by Gwen Matthews, and it is called A Baby Was Born. Once upon a time, a baby was born. Even before that baby was born, there were people waiting and wishing and hoping for that baby. The people who were waiting didn't know exactly what that baby would be like, and so they wondered, would that baby have a smile so warm that it could melt away the coldest snow and ice? Would the baby have a voice so strong that it could shake the mountains? Would the baby be so courageous that all would be comforted, even during the most ferocious storms? Would the baby show the world so much love that peace would settle into even the most hardened hearts? But even as they asked these questions, they imagined what the baby would be like. The people who were waiting and wishing and hoping for the baby already believed that the baby would indeed have a warm smile, a strong voice, a courageous spirit, and a loving heart. And they weren't wrong. When Jesus was born, his tiny body was wrapped up to keep out the cold. He was laid down on straw in a trough that was used to feed the animals inside of a barn. His young parents, who were proud and exhausted, had been forced to take a long journey far from home. Jesus' parents were just two of the people who had been waiting and wishing and hoping for him to be born. But there were other people too. These people saw hurt and suffering in the world, and they believed that this new baby, Jesus, could use his voice to spread a message of love and peace, and they knew it would take courage for him to do so. But Jesus wasn't the only baby that people have waited and wished and hoped for. People also waited and wished and hoped for every single one of you. Before you were born, there were people waiting and wishing and hoping for you. But those people didn't know exactly who you would be like. And so they wondered, would you be kind? Would you be brave? Would you show love? Would you spread peace and joy? But even as they asked these questions, as the people who were waiting and wishing and hoping for you imagined what you might be like, what kind of person you might grow up to be, they already believed that you would be kind and brave and loving, and that you would spread peace and joy in our world. They knew that you could help ease the suffering and hurt in the world, and that you would speak out against violence and oppression. And they weren't wrong. Please join me now in singing the children out to Children's Chapel.
I want to welcome you into a moment of tranquility and self-reflection as we move into meditation. Find a comfortable position. Close your eyes if you wish. Take a deep breath in. Breathe out. Let go of the chaos around you today. Allow yourself to be present in this peaceful space, embracing stillness and inner calm. In this fast-paced world, carving out this time for yourself is a precious gift. Feel the tension melting away with each breath you exhale. Embrace the serenity of this moment, letting go of worries and distractions. Be fully present in this space of tranquility, where your mind can find peace and your soul can rejuvenate. And let the gentle rhythm of your breath guide you deeper and deeper into this meditation, where clarity and inner calm await.
Oh, and just like that river I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change is gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. It's been too hard living, and I'm afraid to die. Oh, I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change is gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. Then I go to my brother and I say, brother, help me please. But he winds up knocking me. He knocks me back down on my knees. There's been times that I thought I couldn't last for long, but now I think I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change is gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. Well, then I go to my brother and I say, brother, help me please. But he winds up knocking me. He knocks me back down on my knees. There's been times that I thought I couldn't last for long, but now I think I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change is gonna come. Oh, yes, it will.
Amazing. Thank you. Very good. Books to Prisoners Spokane was founded in 2017 by Ryan, Louise, and Micah KJ after they were introduced by a mutual friend who had heard each of them separately express interest in starting such a project. Since then, the all-volunteer membership of Books to Prisoners has continually and organically evolved. Current collective members are writers, artists, musicians, educators, community organizers, students, and activists with diverse personal and professional backgrounds. Many of them have roots in Spokane, while others have found a home here more recently, and they are united by a love of books, a passion for education, and a commitment to seeking justice for all. So please join me in welcoming the team of the Books to Prisoners.
Good morning. All right, cool. Thanks for having us. Again, so beautiful. Goosebumps. I got goosebumps. What really struck out to me was Stand By Me. What we're talking about incarcerated people. The words of that song, I think I'm paraphrasing. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't cry. As long as you stand by me. I think the reason we're here talking to you today is to invite you to stand by those people that are incarcerated. We'll talk about that more. We are Books to Prisoners Spokane. Individually, my name is Matt. We have Tim, Sam, Ryan, and Megra. And to get things started, I just want to show you our mission statement. Books to Prisoners is a small collective connecting incarcerated individuals with reading materials at their request. We seek to empower people who are incarcerated with access to the books and knowledge they deserve. Very basically, what we do is we receive letters from incarcerated people all over the country requesting books, and we read those letters and fulfill those requests. Today we're going to explain why it's important for incarcerated people to have access to the books they need and why your donations would be so valuable. And just to get everyone thinking about our criminal justice system, we're going to show a short clip of a video by FD Signifier, and then we're just going to unpack some of those questions that the video raises. So you'll play the video.
Consider just how much actual experience you have with the police and the criminal justice system. Because of the way the algorithm works and what I know about my audience, the chances are if you're watching this video on YouTube, you're watching as a person of relative privilege, probably a relatively decent level of education, which means you probably have not had much engagement with the criminal justice system at any level. If you're Black, there's a higher likelihood you've been profiled by police before, pulled over, maybe even detained. But have you ever been arrested? Have you ever been convicted? Do you have people in your family or close to you that have done time? Have you seen the long-term effects of prison on those individuals when they finally come home? Have you ever been victim of a crime and realized how difficult it is to actually get justice? Ever experienced the overall indifference of the police to your well-being after you called them to come protect and serve?
So there were a lot of questions very quickly there in that video, but they're very important questions. So I'd like to just restate those questions and just give you a moment to answer those questions silently, personally, what they mean to you. How much actual experience do you have with the criminal justice system? Have you been arrested? Have you been convicted? These are two very different questions. Do you have people in your family or close to you that have done time? Have you seen the long-term effects on those individuals when they come home? Have you ever been the victim of a crime and seen how difficult it is to get justice? Have you ever experienced the overall indifference of the police to your well-being after you call them to protect and serve? Now we'll play another short clip from FD Signifier, and we'll discuss that clip further afterwards.
I think when we are passively consuming escapist content over and over again, it tends to become our main contact point, especially for like white people or people who don't have a lot of interaction with the police. The main way you interact with the police is through these cop shows. That is their main contact point. So like They think about the police, they think about crime, and they're like, well, I saw this on Law and Order once. And, that might not be realistic, but that's like what I got.
I'm going to have Ryan and Megra come up, and we'll discuss that further.
Hey. So, hey. Not all of us have been directly impacted by the harms of the carceral system. Generally, our work does not bring us into direct contact with the facilities that house the people we serve, except sometimes to drop off books. Our real contact with people on the inside is through the letters they write us. Letters turn the inside out, providing an opportunity for inmates to share a bit of their lives. Some of the letters we receive contain simple requests for specific titles or certain genres. Other writers tell us about themselves, how long they've been incarcerated and how long they have left in their sentence or until parole, what they hope to do when they get out, personal projects that they're working on now. For example, some folks are creating programs of self-study or for educating others. The requests from people seeking educational materials illuminates the dearth of such programs and resources in many institutions. And many people who are looking ahead to life after prison are interested in books on entrepreneurship and skilled trades, which is a testament to the widespread difficulty obtaining conventional employment after release. There are a lot of people seeking reading material to enhance their spiritual and self-help practices, and many who write us write of their love and appreciation of fiction. They write to us about the value of being able to escape, to lose oneself in imagination, and to experience the pleasure of another world.
Folks often reference books we've sent in the past, letting us know what they thought of them. Sometimes they tell us they've already passed these books along to a friend or plan to. We also receive letters of simple thanks with no requests attached, and cards, drawings, and poems. Although we don't have an opportunity to respond to these letters personally, I hope that the books we hand select and send have their own value as communication, saying something like, I've heard your request, and this is what I found for you. Even as a lifelong reader, writer, and a lover of books, I don't think I ever really understood the value of a book, nor the real cost of not having a book until I began this work.
Our justice system imprisons people on both sides of the prison walls. And to explain what I mean, we're going to show another brief clip from FD Signifier.
He's now aging out of Georgia's foster care. Christian considers it a legal system that failed him. The chaos from moving to foster home to one day this year, somewhere truly unexpected. This Department of Family and Children's Services office is where he was living.
It didn't make sense to me why this was happening to me. When I came in, I saw a lot of blankets on the floor, a lot of things on the floor. There was not a lot of food in there.
DFACS, the agency tasked with protecting kids, housed foster youth in its county offices for months on end.
We're staying here because they don't have nowhere for us to go.
Currently, about 2.7 million children in the United States have parents in jail or prison. That's 1 out of every 28 children, or about 1 student in every classroom. I'm a behavioral interventionist teacher. I work with students who struggle with behaviors that interfere with their learning or the learning of others. They need individual education plans and cannot learn in traditional classroom environments. They often have learning disabilities, a term I hate because we all learn differently, and often what we label as a disability is just something we don't fully understand. They are students who get suspended frequently, are loud and disrespectful, and sometimes violent. and the majority of the students I work with have parents involved in the justice system. These children are serving a sentence for a crime they did not commit, and it's a life sentence. These children bear the true weight of our justice system. There are three main ways these children get to stay in contact with their parents while they are incarcerated. In-person visits, which can be challenging because of the distance they may need to travel. Prisons are also an intimidating environment, and it's a lot to see your parent in that situation. Prison phone calls and video calls are an option, but can be very expensive, which is an obstacle for many families. Letters are the cheapest option, and can be kept as keepsakes and read again and again. We provide notebooks for incarcerated people to maintain this connection. Reading to children while in prison can be an incredible way to stay connected, whether it be during in-person visits or over phone and video calls. Books are a great way to communicate some of the lessons that are so important for children to learn from their parents. The following letter is from a woman who grew up while her mom was in prison, and the mother did a beautiful job of maintaining and strengthening their relationship through books. Dear Mom, happy Mother's Day. I can't believe this is our 7th Mother's Day apart. Only 2 more to go, which feels easy considering what we've already been through. I can't wait to get back to our Mother's Day lunches with Grandma and start buying you both amazing gifts again. I get my flair for giving the most well-planned out creative gifts from you. Thank you. You've been the president of my fan club for as long as I can remember. You told me I could do and be anything, and were so convincing that I believed you. I thank you for always supporting me through my various failed ventures, like being a beauty school dropout, until I found my niche in journalism. You always encouraged me to write, even when I couldn't see my talent. Your value of education led to my endless pursuit of knowledge. You always said, Heather, not going to college isn't an option. You will go to college. Because of that, I have a love of learning and a book hoarding problem that I hope to pass on to my own child. I also give people a run for their money when I play Trivial Pursuit, which is an added bonus. Ironically, prison has helped me become the person I am today, the woman you are proud to call your daughter. Because I grew up watching you smile through multiple hardships with grace, I've been able to hold my head high and build a strong future for myself and my son. I've watched you struggle through situations no one should ever have to deal with, but because you've powered through with your sanity intact, I'm able to do the same. You've shown me what in life is most important, family and love. Thank you for the many lessons, endless support, and unconditional love. I love you. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. This is just one example of how books in the hands of prisoners can just disrupt intergenerational trauma. Here are some more examples of how transformative books can be when they're placed in the right hands at the right time.
Okay, so Chris Wilson was only 17 years old when he was given a life sentence. He formed a book club in prison. Overcoming the hopelessness of the situation, he said, I didn't just live for that library, I lived because of that library. The Patuxent Prison Library saved me from crushing despair. Wilson not only earned his high school diploma, but he also learned several languages and earned a college degree, crediting books. He said, it is clear to me that books lifted my spirit in times of hardship. Wilson is now a published author of his own book, The Master Plan, My Journey from Life in Prison to a Life of Purpose.
Cynthia Brady grew up in Pasco, Washington, and experienced racism people on the West Side could not imagine. While she was incarcerated, she received her AA and certificate as a chemical dependency professional. These are direct quotes from her. I told my clients, and they always laugh when I say this, I said, at one point in my life, I was sitting at the round table pushing dope. Today I'm sitting at a different type of round table pushing hope. A lot of the time, the biggest issue with addiction is that we have lost the capacity to have compassion in most instances for ourselves. Another thing is that most clients that I have worked with have experienced childhood traumas. These are the things the courts did not even look at, their humanity. What has happened to these people that has caused them to turn to drugs?
Sean Pica was sentenced to 24 years in prison when he was just 16 years old. He became the first of his family to earn a college degree, and then he founded Hudson Link for Higher Education in prison to similarly help others. This program leads to opportunities and only 2% recidivism versus 68% nationwide. Part of the success is their re-entry program for alumni. Pica said that he witnessed how learning created a flicker of joy amid the isolation, and it led to more letters written to loved ones, more community. Books were the snowball of humanity.
So what can you do to help? Well, I think standing by the incarcerated individuals is the invitation we have for you today. The positive impact of providing incarcerated people with the books they need with your donations can affect people not just while being in prison and jail, but after they are released. It helps not just the individual, but their families and communities as well. We have time for maybe 1 or 2 questions, but we will be at the back table where we are taking some donations right now. And we do just invite everyone to come back there, and you can kind of talk to us afterwards if you have any questions or you just want to say hi or get a high five. I don't know what people like. But does anyone have a question they would like to ask? Yeah.
Would you then prefer to have money as opposed to books? I always thought, we were supposed to donate books, but I guess not.
Yeah, right now we are really looking for funding to send the books. And we've been looking for it for a little while. Yeah, that's really why we're here today. There is another special collection happening in January. If you want to put up, oh, there it is. So there's what do you call it? If you ever do have books and you're like, oh, I want to donate some books, send us an email because we do get specific requests about different authors we may be looking for, or different genres that we're looking for. So just dropping off a box of books, while helpful, sometimes isn't so helpful. We're actually located on that wing over there in a little room. So there's a limited amount of space we have to keep books. So that's just kind of we want to have books that we're going to send because we are getting requests for specific things, and we like to meet those requests and honor them. Yeah.
How do incarcerated individuals hear about you and know to write you letters to request the books?
Ooh. Ryan, you want to answer that? We got a special one.
We work with the Seattle chapter of Books to Prisoners, and they receive thousands of requests every month. And how we're able to do our work with our limited resources is by basically getting letters from Seattle as we need them. And so, Seattle Books to Prisoners has been operating since the 1970s. So the information is out there a lot of times just based on reading letters. I believe it's word of mouth, but there are also certain resource guides that get sent to people on the inside, and so the information is listed there. We also have had bookmarks in the past that were sent into various facilities with our address at PJALS, because PJALS is our fiscal sponsor, so occasionally people find out about us that way, but a lot of it is word of mouth and those kind of circular materials.
Yeah, it does feel like we get letters that are someone that's incarcerated, somebody else gets a book, and they'll because somebody will read the book and then they hand it off to somebody else, and they'll be like, well, how'd you get a book? And oh, I wrote to Books to Prisoners. And so we get a lot of letters that are oh, I just heard about this, I didn't know you guys existed. So yeah, a lot of word of mouth.
So do you just send books to the institutions in Eastern Washington as opposed to any other place?
We send them all over the country, so, yep. We do. We have like a special, we send like a book or a box of books a month to the prison in Airway Heights. We also just gave some books to the Juvenile Detention Center. But we'll get letters from all over the place. One thing that is kind of important to know is that a lot of prisons don't allow hardback books. So paperbacks we can basically send anywhere. And I think it's only Texas receives, or something like that, receives hardback books at this time.
Words are pale imitations for to that which they point. You say bird, and there's a lot of birds, and you don't know quite what that word means. But book in Latin is libra. We get liberty from it. That word is precious. We get library, freedom. That is precious. Remember the word because it means and points directly.
I think it's a beautiful place to end. Thank you.
All right, let's sing together, I'm on my way, which is 116.
I'm on my way.
On my way
To the freedom land.
to the freedom land.
On my way.
I'm on my way
To the freedom land.
freedom land.
I'm on my way.
I'm on my way
To the freedom land.
freedom land.
I'm on my way. Great God, I'm on my way. I asked my sister.
I asked my sister,
Come and go with me.
come and go with me.
I asked my sister.
I asked my sister,
Come and go with me.
come and go with me.
I asked my sister.
My sister,
Come and go with me.
come and go with me.
I'm on my way. Great God, I'm on my way. I asked my brother.
I asked my brother,
Come and go with me.
come and go with me.
I asked my brother.
I asked my brother,
Come and go with me.
come and go with me.
I asked my brother.
brother,
Come and go with me.
come and go with me.
I'm on my way.
Great God,
I'm on my way. If they say no,
if they say no,
then I'll say.
I'll go anyhow.
If they say no,
If they say no,
I'll go anyhow.
anyhow.
If they say no, I'll go anyhow. I'm on my way. Great God, I'm on my way. I'm on my way.
I'm on my way,
And I won't turn back.
and I won't turn back.
I'm on my way.
I'm on my way,
And I won't turn
and I
back.
won't turn back.
I'm on my way. And I won't turn back.
Turn back.
I'm on my way. Great God, I'm on my way.
As we depart today, I want to share these closing thoughts. We need to make compassion a clear, luminous, and dynamic force in our polarized world. Rooted in determination to transcend selfishness, compassion can break down political, dogmatic, ideological, and religious boundaries. Born of our deep interdependence, compassion is essential to human relationships and to a fulfilled humanity. It is a path to enlightenment and indispensable to the creation of a just economy and a peaceful global community. Amen. Blessed be. Salam alaikum and shalom. Shalom.